Oh, my mind, beautiful tonight. And I know that you will never stray, 'cause you've been that way from day to day, such a long, long time. When you hold me tight, how could life be anything but beautiful? Think that I was made for you, you were made for me. Such a long, long time.
Is anyone not crying? All right, good afternoon, everybody here. On behalf of Sharon and Paolo, I would love to start by wishing you all a very, very warm welcome here this afternoon to celebrate these two utterly gorgeous human beings! So firstly, just before we begin, I would love to invite each of you, just as a friendly reminder, please just turn off your devices and your mobile phones for the next little while, so that each of us can be fully present for an unplugged ceremony this afternoon for Sharon and Paolo. We have the fabulous Rachel Gutierrez taking photos for us. Thank you, Rachel. And we have Dan. You'll see Dan floating around taking some video footage too. So I promise you will not need to take any dodgy iPhone photos until much later on. There's even Polaroids over there, so much fun to be had after the ceremony. So my name is Sally Louise Perkins, and I am duly authorised by law to solemnise marriage according to the law. And as your celebrant here today, it is my absolute pleasure to guide you through today's ceremony and to honour the space for these two lovers to get hitched this afternoon. And I'd like to start by saying that ceremony has connected us all on country for many thousands of years before today. So as we prepare to celebrate together here on Camaraigal country at beautiful Secret Garden, Wendy Whiteley's Secret Garden, here in Lavender Bay, I would love to acknowledge our traditional custodians of this land, paying respects to our elders past and present, and also just thanking them for continuing to teach us how to walk respectfully on country. I'd also like to take a moment, if I may, to honour some very special people who cannot be here with us today. And those people are Alexandra and Paolo Cesar, Paolo's parents, and also Sharon's dear friend Ashlyn. Now, although they are not here with us in person today, it's really important to remember that we can feel their presence with us in the breeze, in the beautiful blue sky that we have today, and in the earth beneath our feet. So, before we go any further here this afternoon, you all may know that it is customary for a couple to make special vows to each other on their wedding day. But in the spirit of making this afternoon the most amazing day that it can possibly be for these two lovers here to get hitched, and for today's ceremony to go off without a hitch, I would love to start off by inviting each of you wonderful people here to make some vows of your own. How does that sound? Scary. It's not scary. So each of you here, do you promise today to listen to the magic that is Sharon and Paolo, to watch with your full attention here this afternoon, and to feel the love in the air with your whole hearts and whole beings?
Yes.
Yes. That's it. Well, I'm going to skid through in a minute. That's not unplanned. Do you vow to laugh at all of the funny bits here today, even if it means laughing at them as well as with them?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Of course you do. And finally, do you vow to give these two today the very best date imaginable? Because only you can, as those that know and love them the very best in all of the world. Now, another thing that I'd like to share, another job that I have for each of you before we start today, I'd just like to invite I think it's going to be you, Brian, actually. We are going to be doing a ritual here this afternoon called a warming of the rings for Sharon and Paolo. So they have both decided to exchange wedding rings with each other today. And in this little pouch, I have 2 wedding rings. So in a moment, I'm going to start with Brian, and I would like to invite each of you just to hold the pouch up to your heart space. Close your eyes if that feels good. And I'd love it if you could give a blessing to these 2 wonderful people. Just a blessing of love for today, perhaps for your friendship or however your relationship is with them, and for every day that follows. And then as soon as you've done that, please just pass it on to the person next to you. We're going to snake this way. Snake. Okay. And then we'll come all the way back to the front. So take your time. I'm going to carry on with the ceremony while this is happening. So please, just as soon as you receive them, give your blessing, and then just make sure that you don't drop them. Do you think you can do that? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Excellent. I think we can begin then. So now, friends and family, for those of you that don't know, Sharon and Paolo here first happened to meet one another in that most modern of ways, at the click of a button, believe it or not. Yes, in that wonderful world that we know as online dating, otherwise known as Tinder, where we get to have a good stalk of a person's profile photo before we have to think up an actual conversation with them. So let me take you back, if I may, friends, to just before the pandemic hit, when a Corona was still just the name of a beer enjoyed cold with a slice of lime. And Paolo and Sharon here were both swiping merrily away on Tinder when they caught one another's eye on the screen. Now, Sharon here was quite new to Tinder life, and she says what she says. So cheeky. And she said she's very new to Tinder life, and she didn't really want to go on any long, boring, drawn-out dates with the wrong person. So she had this amazing idea to have a virtual video date with Paolo, where they both managed to get a vino in hand and a pizza and put on a video so that they could chat together. And an hour into the phone call, the wine was flowing and so was the conversation. Paolo already had his top off, apparently. Which, not surprised, says Maureen. He always has his top off, so I love, which had definitely caught Sharon's attention, let's be honest. And he tried very hard to convince our beautiful Sharon here to sneak out and meet him in person at his place. But of course, mid-lockdown, she would never have done that. So they waited until it was appropriate to meet up. And then Paolo invited Sharon around to his place, where it's safe to say they had a really great time, laughing so hard that they reduced each other to tears, playing dress-ups with Paolo's bicycle helmet and listening to Sade's By Your Side, which brought Paolo to tears all over again. Even now. We love him. We love you, Paolo. Now, their first proper date out in the world post-lockdown was, believe it or not, everybody, to JB Hi-Fi, where Paolo was helping Sharon to buy a TV and some new furniture for her new place. You see, folks, romance is definitely not dead. And it does just go to show that real love and real connection can grow out of the most difficult times and circumstances. And when it's real, there is simply no stopping it. The truth is, though, that while these two joyous beings thought at the time that they were just going to hang out together and have some fun, they hadn't anticipated, perhaps, that in fact they had now met their soulmate in those first few fun dates. And things quickly went from strength to strength, and they started to realize, in fact, that this might be the case. Now today, Paolo is fondly known as Babe to Sharon's Shasha. And together they enjoy nothing more than making a den on the floor with a mattress and a blanket and having what is known as Homeless Day, where they pretend to be homeless together and live in a tent on their lounge room floor, snuggling up together, watching movies and just being with one another. Beautifully weird, huh? Although I'm sure many of you will have heard this amazing saying which goes, marriage is an endless sleepover with your favourite weirdo. And I feel that this saying fits these two pretty damn perfectly after hearing that about them. Ever more perfectly after learning about their homeless adventures together. And one thing's for sure, I'm sure each of you here will agree with me when I say that these two balance one another beautifully. And to be totally honest with you, we know it hasn't always been plain sailing over the past few years. There have been sad times, as well as happy, and many testing times that have shown them both how strong and supportive each can be to the other. When Paolo's beautiful mother, Alessandra, became sick, Sharon was able to support Paolo through it all, and she went with him to Brazil to spend time with his family. And Paolo says of Sharon that he would have been lost without her through this time. Sharon makes him so happy, and she helps him to be, in his words, a better man. And not only that, but he loves how funny she is too, and that she's always up for an adventure. I'm sure you all know that to be true of Sharon. And Sharon says of Paolo that she loves his kindness, his sense of humour, and his sense of adventure too. You see, they really are two peas in a pod, and they have the same beautiful things to say very genuinely about each other. And Paolo helped Sharon through her own sad times too, when she lost her very dear friend, Ashlyn. Sharon says of Paolo that every time she's around him, she feels so much joy, lightness, and contentment. And Paolo helps her to feel both safe and loved. Sharon and Paolo, my wish for you is that you spend your whole lives in the simple bliss that is Homeless Day. Laughing hard, loving even harder, and cherishing each and every moment together, because you two know more than anybody else the precious gift that life is, and that we don't have forever to be here on this earth. Now, friends, it is time for me to get some of the more serious wedding business out of the way. And there are a couple of important things that I am legally obliged to share with each of you here. Sharon and Paolo, before you're joined in marriage, in my presence and in the presence of these witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage within Australia is the union of two people to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. Sharon and Paolo, I invite you to stand here together now as you make vows to one another, and as I ask you both the following questions. Okay, if I can get my words out. Sharon, will you take Paolo to be your lawful wedded husband? Will you love him, laugh with him, celebrate and respect him as the wonderful man that he is, even though he has a habit of saying, I don't think so. Whenever you tell him a story. And that he has a huge man crush on Ragnar from Vikings. Just letting you know. And would probably love to be marrying him as well today.
I do.
Phew.
I call upon the persons here present to witness that I, Sharon Carmel Gray, take thee, Paolo Jose, Rizzo de la Vera, to be my lawful wedded husband. Paolo, I'll always make sure we'll celebrate the small moments in life, even when times are hard. And I promise that you will never be alone as long as I live.
Paolo, will you take Sharon to be your lawful wedded wife? Will you love her, laugh with her, celebrate and respect her as the wonderful woman that she is, even though she always leaves the cabinet doors open all over the kitchen, including sometimes the fridge and the oven door too?
Yes, I do.
Thank goodness for that. That's real love.
I call upon the person here present to witness that I, Paulo José Rizzo de Oliveira, take thee, Sharon Carmel Gray, to be my lovely wedding wife. From my heart. Sharon, I promise to be with you forever because we are stronger together, and I will make sure our life will always be fun. I love you.
So lovely. So now, Sharon and Paolo have actually chosen to tie the knot quite literally here today as they take part in what is known as a hand fasting. And this ancient ritual goes all the way back to Celtic tradition and is one of the oldest known ways for celebrating a marriage, binding together not only their hands but also their hearts. So for this, I ask you to face one another. Just take your right hands together and slide them up towards one another's elbow. Now, if you would like to, Sharon, please place your left hand on top here just to signify the gentle and nurturing touch that you hope to bring to your marriage together. Paolo, place your left hand underneath to signify the support and solidarity that you hope to bring to your marriage together. Now, today, everybody, I have 3 ribbons. The first ribbon is to represent Paolo and all of the beautiful people that have helped to raise him into the man that he is today, the friends that have helped to shape him, and everybody who has loved him and supported him to grow. The second ribbon is for Sharon and all of the beautiful people who have supported her and raised her and befriended her to be the wonderful woman that she is today. And the third and final ribbon that I have represents the binding of their 2 hearts, 2 lives together as one, starting this new chapter today from this day forward. So just bear with me while I do some ribbon wrapping. We ready? Do we think it's going to work? So very gently, I just invite you to start to pull your hands towards one another. Actually, no, keep it tight, keep it tight. More ring. So let this knot remain tied as a reminder of the pledge that you two have made together today. You're making this afternoon to one another this beautiful invitation to be a part of your lives for every day that follows and entwine your lives together. So with that, let's do a little check-in. Amazing! We got the ring! There we go. So these rings have been infused with each of your love and each of your blessings. I'm going to just give them to you together. If you'd like to take each other's. Is there? I thought it was jingling together.
The dinner's arrived. Hold on.
Special guest, the barbecue's over there.
Sharon and Paolo, you've chosen to give each other these rings today as a symbol of your unity. The circular shape of the ring represents eternity. There's no beginning and no end, much like the love that you two share with each other. And the central part of the ring can be thought of as a doorway or a portal that you can choose to walk through together today, hand in hand. Okay, do you want to go first? Who wants to? Yeah, you go first. Okay, so as you get ready to go to Sharon's feet, just put some words for you to say. Sharon, I give you this ring.
Sharon, I give you this ring as a symbol of promises we have made here today. I give you my love, my friendship, and my respect. So, with all the time that I am, and all my time too. I own you. Let this ring remind you of our eternal love, through time and without limit.
Paolo, I give you this ring as a symbol of the promises we have made here today. I give you my love, my friendship, and my respect. With all that I am, I honor you. Let this ring remind you of our eternal love through time and without limits.
Not coming out.
It's on forever. May you wear these rings with pride, you two, and let them remind you of one another every day. So now, everybody, we do have a little bit of paperwork that we're going to complete together. So I would love in a moment to invite Maureen and Brian, our witnesses today, just to come with us for a few moments. I promise we're not going far away. In fact, we are literally just going right there to that table. and it won't take us very long. So I would love to encourage each of you just to stay here, present and connected. You can talk amongst yourselves if you want to, but just don't go off anywhere. Because I promise you the best bit is yet to come. And the music that you're about to hear is True Love by Soja, and By Your Side, the Sade remix by Cotton Belly.
It's for everyone, no matter where they're from. Love it cause all like the feeling of how the season changing. There's a memory in these last days when we're empty, true love speaks. I need true love. How do you know? Will I what you mean to me? Where does it show as I live and I breathe? True love in the valley of the shadow. I know that you'll be. I am defense. I am gonna death and I conquer enemy. What is love really if it only play one aspect of life? That's like a musician who only excels his own musical time. That's like a preacher who only respects Sunday morning and not Saturday night. That's how this soldier can come to reflect that love is more than a man and a wife. I need true love. Where do you know? Well, I want you to to me. And does it show as I live and I breathe? In the valley of the shadow, I know who you be. I am defense, I conquer death and I conquer envy. In a time of plenty, it's gonna keep me strong. Things get tough and I keep cooling.
He was here as well.
It's gonna keep me strong. When I
Thank you for your patience, everybody. So now, this part of the ceremony, I would love to invite each of you, if you can, please, to be upstanding for this next little bit. Wait for the train. So that we may congratulate Sharon and Paolo on their marriage together this afternoon and the start of their next chapter together. So, friends and family, are you ready for the best bit? Yes, of course you are. Sharon and Paolo, we have all witnessed here today together the love that you share for one another, your commitment, and your willingness to join together in marriage. I'm just going to wait for this, like the longest train ever. It's like a drum roll. So, in the honesty of your words and the integrity of your actions here today, Sharon and Paolo, I am very happy to announce you as husband and wife! Woo! Everyone, woo! With pleasure, I give you Mr. and Mrs. Rizzo Gray. Please, everybody, don't be shy. We're going to actually invite you all now to come up to the front to congratulate our newlyweds today. Give them all the love. And just to remind you, if you don't know, you have a beautiful picnic to attend after this, and it's just up the steps and down the other side. So in about 15 minutes or so, I think we're all going to make our way over there. But for now, come on up. Please don't be shy. Give them your love.
I'm not crying anymore. Thank you. Very nice. Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Well done. Beautiful.